Oh, wrong camera, but it's all right. All right, that's cool. At least we got two different cameras today. Two of them. Two different ones. Aha. All right, cool. This one. Cool. All right. Let's see what we got. We got the see. Let's see. Let's see. Boom. Solicito Soledad. Oh, wow. Jennifer Wayne. Jennifer Wayne. Rocky joined. It's kind of hard to see how many people are coming through. Let's change this, put it half and half. Tammy West, Mona Lee. Cool, now I can actually see both sides. Look at that. Would you look at that? Universal Healing, John Silver, Alyssa Nelson. Oh boy. In the meantime, I'm just gonna make sure I got my stuff here. I'll shuffle. Oh, shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. All right. Thank you so much, users 780134430. I appreciate you. Thank you. If you'd like to get a question, please do not hesitate to do so. And please, guys, make sure to follow to ask a question. All right, I got Nadine. She's asking, will I get an offer for a full-time TA position at the DDC Pawtucket Rio soon instead of food aid? All right, let's see, Nadine. Is Nadine going to get an offer for a full-time position? Nadine, you got the Empress card out. I would say recommend to stay in your power, stay confident. You know, make sure if you got a interview process coming up, be confident about who you are, what you offer, the things you do. Show yourself in a way that you are the best deal they can get to hire you. All right. But this is a very optimistical card. I would, if that was a yes or no, I would totally give that as a yes. Alrighty. The next person who followed is the Inspired Will. Is it over between me and Jorge for good? Let's see. Caitlin, thank you for following. If you'd like to ask a question, please make sure to do so. All right, let's see. The question for Will. Is it over between him and Jorge? Or her? I don't know. Maybe? Will? Will. Will. You got the Three of Swords on reverse. That is a card of heartbreak or healing of heartbreak. So this is a very optimistical outcome. If that's the case, I would say it is a yes. I mean, it is a no. If you're looking for, getting back together with that person, that will be a no. All right, guys, I will have to step out for just a minute. I'll be right back. Oh, it's you.
I just had to come get my bag.
Oh, okay. I guess I'm not getting out. Okay, cool. I'm not getting out. No, I'm on my live right now. I thought it was the landlord.
No, it's just me.
Okay.
We had turned off the, well, we had turned them down, so if you get cold, turn them on.
Thank you. All right, let's get back. Next question for Caitlin. Caitlin, are you still there? All right, question for Caitlin. Will Xander and I reconcile? You got the Knight of Swords. This is the card that fast motion. As you can see, the little horse is moving quick. It's moving fast. This should be a positive outcome. Just make sure you guys are communicating properly. Be careful to not say things that you shouldn't say. Be careful of the way you speak and the way you communicate with each other. If, when two people don't want to fight, they don't fight. So, yeah. Captain Media, thank you so much for following. You're very welcome, Caitlin. That boy Reckless, thank you so much for following. Please, if you got your question, do not hesitate to leave it down in the comments. All right, Abby, let's check on you, Abby. Will Aaron unblock me? Let's check for Abby. Will Aaron unblock me? I got the King of Cups. Someone who's a master of emotions. This may be, if we're talking about a yes or no question, you may be looking into how to be more emotionally stable in this situation. Or maybe, do not give in to clinginess. Just wait for them to come back to you. Don't make a fuss about it. When you just push yourself too much into that situation, when you give too much thought into the situation, the most likely outcome when that person actually comes back is that you're going to become aggressive and clingy into that, and you don't want to have that kind of appearance once it finally happens, because you want them to chase you. You don't need to be chasing them. Okay. Guys, please do not forget to hit like and subscribe, follow whichever platform you guys are on, okay? And thank you so much for the likes. Let's see if I can pop this out here. There you go. That's better. This is much better, so I can see the chat properly. All right, let's see. That boy Reckless, thank you for following. Let me check on your stuff in here. Thank you for sharing. Anthony, is Victoria lying about being faithful? I don't think so. This is a very positive card. That's a Six of Wands. That's a card of victory, recognition. So I would most likely be confident about the situation. And think about it. If you are constantly having that in your head, how is that actually going to help you? Sometimes it's not even a them thing. Sometimes it's a us thing that we need to let people go, let people do what they want. And if they actually like us, they will come back to us. If they actually like us, they won't be stabbing us in the back. You know what I mean? You're very welcome. You are very welcome. And again, thank you for following and thank you for sharing the live, okay? Becca Boo, thank you so much for following. Queen Dawn, thank you also for following. Thank you for sharing. Larry Sanders, thank you so much for following. If you guys have a question, please make sure to drop them down below in the comments. Monica, thank you for the roses and the hearts. I really appreciate that. All right, Larry, will I become lover with KC? Larry is asking, will I become a lover with KC? Let's see. This is the six of swords. This is a positive card, even though it's a sword. This is someone living for better waters, for a better environment. This may be you heading over to that position. Just think about it as what actions can you take, what thoughts, what feelings can you use, what actions you can use to actually move on into that direction you're looking for. Again, the future is not permanent. The future is completely mutable. It changes. It's all dependent on the things that you do, the things that you say to yourself, how you portray yourself. The actions you take today will modify your future. It's not me, it's not the cards. Monica, let's see. Monica, will my husband and I reconcile? Monica, you just got the Six of Cups. That's a card of, nostalgia. It's a card of the past. There is a very good chance. I will tell you, do not be stuck in the past. Staying stuck in the past can bring you down to depression. Stay optimistic of the memories you have from the past, but stay in the present. Be realistic with yourself. Check the actions you're doing to take. You're going to take in order for that to happen. If you want that very well to happen, how can you make sure that you are taking care of yourself? How can you show the other person that you actually care about them? I don't know what the situation was between the both of you, but the best to do is, get together, have a conversation, and be honest with each other. Becca, thank you so much for sharing. Let's see. How do I get my gifts back and step back into my power? You're very welcome, Monica. Back out, we got the Ace of Cups. This is something that is not concrete at the moment. It is something that may be coming up in the future. This may be a relationship. This may be also a signal that you need to start taking care of your emotion, your intuition. Um, make that water flow, if that makes any sense. That's what I'm hearing right now. Make that water flow. Take care of your emotions. If you take care of your emotions, then, if you're emotionally regulated, you're not, lashing out on everybody. You're not lashing out on everybody. You're not necessarily just, for every single word that people say, you're just feeling things all the time. People will see you as with a completely different character, and that may help you in the future. So I would say master your emotions. And you're very welcome. Pro detail her. Will Kelly and I get back together? Let's see. Got the Ace of Pentacles on reverse. If that was a yes or no, I would say it's a no. But that does not mean it's definite. You can always make sure that you don't miss the or maybe there might be a signal to not lose the opportunity if it comes. Sometimes things just happen like that quick, and you gotta jump on it as soon as you see it. Kenneth Jennifer, thank you so much for following. Queen Dawn, should I move on, or is there any chance that Nick and I will ever get back together? Let's see. You got the Knight of Cups. That's the card of the guy who's very romantic. I would say yes, there is a chance. I would say yes, you either walk towards them, or hopefully they will walk towards you. But take care of yourself. Don't be pretty for others. Be pretty for yourself. Take care of yourself. Tell yourself good things. If it doesn't work out, make sure you keep taking care of yourself. But if that was a yes or no, I would say that's a yes. You're very welcome. Don't forget to follow then, because I have a YouTube channel. You can watch the long form, or if you want to just get the small bits of it, I do also have the small bits in my TikTok, so please don't forget to follow. Let's see. Andrea, will I receive a few $100 this week? Andrea, what are you doing to make sure you're getting a few $100 this week? You got a Two of Cups on reverse. That's not being reciprocated. But here's a question for you. How can you make sure you make connections for that to work out in your favor? Make connections. What connections do you have at the moment? Are you reciprocating the connections that you have today? Whether they may be in your job, whether they may be in your family, friends, contacts, prospects. If there was a yes or no, I would say it's a no. But again, make sure you're working on that. Work on your connections. You're very welcome. Nelly, will Eric call soon? Hello, user. The name is just user. Hello. China. Oh, it's China. Okay, cool. Let me get Nelly's question. Or actually, for Jan. Jan, thank you for the follow. Let me get this. Will Amy and Joe get married? That's the card of marriage, actually. That's the Four of Wands, and that's on reverse. At this very moment, as it looks like, that will be a no, a direct no. But again, the future is not permanent. The future, we can always change the future. So the question is, how's the structure of this relationship? Do you guys actually trust each other? Is it? Oh my God. Oh, you guys. All right, if that's what you wanted to hear. Oh, I see. But that was a card of marriage, number 4, Four of Wands. It's a structure. There's no structure. Oh boy. You guys crack me up. Rose, thank you so much for following. Guys, I'll give priorities for followers, okay? Just to let y'all know. Marquise, thank you for sharing the live. And Rose, thank you so much for following. All right, Marquise, will me and Tiana spend time? Oh. Marquise, it looks like, yes, you will spend time with Tiana. This might be like there might be a third party in the situation. It's almost like, imagine like a friend of a friend that will get you both together somehow in that situation. It's not all bad, no. But it does shows you guys are gonna have a good time. You guys will get to spend time together. Rose, will the new year be a better one for me? Let's see, Rose. Will the new year be a better one for me? I mean, this is a question. I will probably just get some sort of advice out of the card, Rose. This is something that's very elaborate. There are things that we need to look at on ourselves and the situations that we got. You gotta have some planning. Okay, Rose. That does not mean you're gonna have a bad year. Okay. But this is the question I will ask you. Have you closed up on certain cycles that actually need to be closed off at this moment? Make sure you're closing certain cycles that have been going on and you have not concluded them. Once you start closing those chapters, new chapters will actually start popping up for you. Okay? That's the word I got from this card for you. All right, user, let's see. China. You're very welcome, Rose. China, will the nursing home job be calling back soon? Okay. So we got the 5 of Swords. So the 5 of Swords is usually the card of the altercation, the fights, the ideas, the conflicts. That would be like conflict. That's the best word. Instead of just thinking about it, how can you take action into that situation? Should you maybe give him a call and say, hey, how's the situation looking? Don't sound completely aggressive about it. Just use a corporate lingo. Hi, how's it going? I'm just following up on how's that job application at the moment. Number one, that's going to show that you're actually interested. The tone that you're going to use on that call will also show up on how helpful you are, how much of a go-getter you can be, and how interested you are in that job. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense to you. But try to not sound overly eager or overly rash once you make that call if they haven't been calling you for quite a while. But again, calling them back at least once does not hurt. That shows interest. I hope that helps. Alrighty. Let's see, guys. Thank you so much for the likes. I really appreciate that. Rose, Dwayne, Justice, Mustang. Thank you so much. Also, Mustang, you've been looking for that truck, huh? I remember you from the other day. Did you call him back? Yeah. What they say? Amanda, thank you so much for giving me likes for the live. And thank you so much, guys, for the gifts and following and liking. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. They're waiting on a part. Well, if they already gave you the outcome for Thursday, I'll pull a card for you. But if they already gave you a time frame, it's the same strategy I told you before. That's the Ten of Pentacles. That's a card of inheritance, consistency. I would say just try to be consistent with it, even though it's on their part of being consistent with you. But if it's a place where it does not respect you as a customer, if they keep pushing and pushing and pushing, but if they told you it's for Thursday, then it's most likely for Thursday. Give them a call. Ari, thank you so much for following. Let's see, Ari, what is your question? Is there a future for me in London, or is he playing me? All right, you got the Emperor on reverse. Got to change that in here. We got the Emperor on reverse. I would say that will be like a no-no. But ask yourself, how confident are you in this situation? How do you show yourself as confident? Do you actually let them fool you, or do you feel fooled by their inconsistency? Or do you feel like they can fool you because you're not showing up as someone very secure of yourself? Again, if they actually are not being that serious with you, that's not a problem with you. It's a problem with them. So if it's someone who's not consistent, someone who doesn't show up, someone who doesn't check on you, then it's most likely someone who's really not for you. You know what I mean? Three feathers. Let's see, three feathers. Thank you for following. Maurice, if I reapply for the GCO position, will I get it? Let's see. For Maurice, if I reapply for the JCO position, will I get it? Will Maurice get a position if he reapplies for it? I got the devil on reverse. So if this is, did you end up in bad terms? If you did end up in bad terms, try to come up clean from it. Okay, try to come up clean from it. This will be like a no, but it doesn't hurt to try. You can always try it, but try to come back in with as a fresh beginning with a fresh mind, fresh mindset, if you know what I mean. Hey Devin, how's it going, man? Thanks for popping in. Do you see me making any sales today for Devin? Let's see, Devin. This is a 10 of Wands. That's a card of burdens or burnout. Devin, I would say if that is a yes or no, I would say it's a yes. But try to not get yourself burnt out if you don't. Try to find a different way on, a different path on how can you accomplish that. If you're looking for, receiving, if you're looking to make customers, how can you communicate, or how can you take action into that, or look through a different channel on how you're going to get those clients? Does that make sense? Tonya, thank you so much for following. Tonya, good morning. Jean Bowman, thank you so much for following. Selema Witiana, yeah, I'll pull a free card for you. Jean, will Wallace be coming home? Just ask a question, and then I'll pull a card, and we'll see what the card says. Jean, will Wallace be coming back home? We got the Three of Pentacles. That's the card of teamwork. If that was a yes or no, I would say yes. If we'll get a little bit deeper into that card, is check on how you guys can work together and avoid any sort of problems. Just think about collaboration. Amanda, thank you so much for following. Will you get a job soon? Let's check on you, Amanda. We got the Four of Pentacles. If that was a yes or no, I would say it's a yes. If we'll get to read the card for you, Amanda, I would say make sure you do not overspend. You make sure you take care of your finances. Your finances are in check. But what concrete actions are you actually taking in order to get that job? Okay, be consistent. Katana X-May, will Jordan and I get back together? I think I had Tonia's question, right? Or no? Let's see. Tonia, did you ask something or no? Should just say good morning. Okay. All right, Katana, let's see. Let's check a question. Will Jordan and I get back together? Let's see. We got the High Priestess. That's a card of intuition. On reverse, that will be like, again, if that was a yes or no, I would say it's a no. If we will get deeper into the card, I will tell you, trust your intuition a little bit more. You most likely already know the answer. And if you really want that, you need to go deeper in understanding why you want that again, and how will that situation actually make you grow as a person. If it doesn't happen, what lessons can you take from that situation? Okay. Let's see who else. I think we got Ari. Let's see if Ari's here. Arella? Yeah, Arella or Arela? Arella. Should I start trusting Elmer and that he likes me? Okay. Two cards came out. Let's see. So you got the 10 of Cups. That's a card of happiness, family, yada, yada, yada. And that's the Page of Cups. It may not be, as fast as we want. It may not be as fast as we want. It may just not be completely romantic, and some people are just like that. Unfortunately, that's how it is. Some people are just simply just not that romantic. They just let's see who else was following here. I am Maria. I am Marie. Will the rest of December go well for me? No, Arella, it does not mean that he doesn't like you romantically. Some people are just simply not romantic at all. Some people are just not romantic. They just like myself. I'm a goober. I am not romantic at all. I will take care of the person I like. I'll bring him gifts. I will give him the attention. I'll give him the time. But I am not a very romantic person. But that is just me. Some people are just like that as well. Does that make sense to you? Does that person actually shows up? Does that person actually, takes care of you? That's how you know if they like you. Do they give you a little text? They check up on you. People that check up on you actually likes you somehow. Fairy tales are only on Disney movies. I'm sorry, but in the in real life, not everything is Disney princess kind of deal. Ale, Erica, will Jose call me soon to reconcile? There is an apathy going on in that situation. They're just being reluctant. How can you make sure that that situation will actually happen? Is there any way to set up reminders that they can see you? Maybe, post on Facebook, post on TikTok, make a post, and directly make them see you. And they're gonna be like, "Oh, that person is there. Maybe I should call her." All right. Erica, will my ex and I get married? Girl, girl, why is he your ex? Girl, I'll pull you a card, but you already answered. Girl, yeah, magician. There you go. Yeah, no. That would be a no-no. You're using your manifestation powers to the wrong things, to the wrong situations. If a chapter is over, let that chapter go, start a new one. It's okay to be by yourself, at least for a little bit. Let them choose you, don't choose them. Let them choose you. You don't need to be running after no man. Why running after a man? Don't run after a man. Mm-mm. Girl, mm-mm, mm-mm. Marie, will the rest of December go well for me? Let's check. I think that's the one I missed, huh, Marie? So sorry. Let's check the one for Marie. Marie, if you're still here, I'm so sorry. I kind of got overwhelmed in here. Guys, make sure, Marie, check on your structures. How's your religion? How is your family? How's your marriage? Check for foundations, okay? Or check for signs of rebellion that may be within yourself or others. And if there are, do not try to, bring down the entire castle, but also understand why those situations are failing, why those situations are not bringing growth, and how can you make sure that there will be some sort of growth from now on. Your boss queen, thank you so much for following. Connie, thank you for following as well. Your boss queen, who's Patricia? Does Hector want to start a new chapter? Patricia, are you guys separated or something? If you guys are separated, it is probably time to start healing. If you guys are together, are you guys separated? Yes. It may be time to start healing. Because the worst is gone. The worst part is gone. The stabbing, the backstabbing, whatever is gone. But it might be the time to pick up the pieces and start healing either yourself or, see, let's see if the Connie has a question. Yes, Katya. Will my ex Diesel? Will Katya's ex reconcile romantically? All right. We got the Queen of Swords, which is a woman who is a very logical, maybe use a little bit of logic. And we also got the Two of Pentacles that just jumped off as well, which is a card of balance, or in this case, imbalance. Be logical into that situation. There's no romanticality. There are no cups in this combination. Ask yourself what was out of balance for you guys to become an ex, and be logical about the situation. Okay, be very logical. What are you telling yourself? What are you telling yourself? You know. Saved Reborn for Paola. Will I move out to apartments by the beginning of next year in 2026? All right, let's see for Paola. We got the Queen of Cups on reverse. That is the card of emotional regulation, the card of love, the card of romantic. If that was a yes or no for being on reverse, I would say it's a no. Also because well, let's be realistic, it's pretty much mid-December. Just be realistic with that, but do not become emotionally attached to the situation. If you know what I mean, don't get emotionally attached to that situation if it does not happen. If it does happen, that is great. If it does not happen, how can you make sure you're not so attached into it again emotionally, and you start taking actions to get out of the situation you are in at the moment? All right. um Man, Tammy, Tammy, thank you so much for following. Linda, thank you so much for following. Annie, thank you for following. M333, thank you for following. Dina, thank you so much. All right, let's check one. I got Linda and I got Annette, right? Okay. All right. Let's check on Linda. Linda, does Max loves me? We got the card of Judgment. If that card was a yes, if that card was just, if that was a yes or no situation, I would say, yeah, that's a yes. But looking into the Judgment card, this is the card of the revelation. You may soon have a revelation that you may either have the certainty if that's a yes or a no. But if it was just a yes or no question, that's a yes. If you're gonna get deep into it, you're gonna have a wake up call into that. All right. Annette, should I let go of Miguel? Annette, I'm sorry to break your dreams and whatnot. You got the Temperance card and you got the Chariot card. Temperance is pretty much the balance. Okay, you're not balancing things out. Maybe something major happened and you just simply did not see. The Chariot was probably a big crash, or may also indicate that you are stale and stuck into this situation. Remember, things do not happen to us, things happen for us. If you are not with that person, there has to be a lesson behind it on why you are not with that person anymore. Um, Ask yourself if there was enough give and take on that. Ask yourself, you know also what is funny on that situation, that we got two cups here and we also got those two sphinxes over here in front of the Chariot. So ask yourself, was that an actual a two-person relationship? I don't know if that's something that resonates with you somehow, but I hope it does. And I hope it brings you some sort of comfort, okay? Rayma, thank you so much for sharing the live. Rayma, let's see. Will David and I work things out? You got the card of justice. Justice may be happening for you guys. Um, it will balance it out by looking at the sword and the scale. Make sure you guys be logic with each other and make sure you guys are fair with each other. Okay, the sword, be very logic, thoughtful, and the scale, be fair to each other. There's a lot of give and take, so you guys can get balanced out. If that was a yes or no question, then I would say it's a yes. Ooh. All right, let's see. Hey, Mark, thank you so much for following. And I hope you had a great weekend as well. I'm doing very well. Thanks for stopping by and thanks for following. M333, Mackenzie, will I be getting my title for my car before the end of the week? Let's see. Let's pull a card for you, Mackenzie. We got the Hermit. That's a card of introspection. If that was a yes or no, I would say it's a yes. If we get into that card, are you getting all of the details? Do you have other things about that car that could be done? Other documentations that they could be done? Again, remember, guys, any of those things that got deadlines, remember, we were pretty close to Christmas, and it's pretty much mid-December now. So not a whole lot might move around. We got a holiday coming up pretty soon. All right, let me move on to. I gotta turn on this light, and I'm gonna move on to a different deck because we're pretty much just in the middle of it. So I'm gonna put this guy away, and I'll pick another deck. All right, we got me following and sharing. Me, thank you so much. Me is Zalea. Zalea. Thank you very much for the likes and the shares and all the engagement. Let me get your question right now. How much does Tekurian, is that the name? Tekurian for Zalea. How much does he miss you, if at all? Let's see. Andrea on YouTube, thank you so much for following. Salima, I'll get to your question just right after this one. I hope you're still there. If you're not, but we'll see. All right. Zalea, we got the Hierophant on reverse. That's a card of structure. That seems that there is a lack of structure into this situation. If there was a yes or no question, I will give you a no. And if we're gonna get into the card, I would say there is no structure into that situation for it to keep going on. If you're asking already that question yourself and me, it means that there are things that are in the hidden that you're probably not taking a look at. If it's someone who does not check on you, then they shouldn't be on your path. They should let you go and let you find someone who actually likes you. Whew. Colcast Kim, thank you for following. Thank you for sharing. I've already got Mackenzie's question. Coletta. Okay, Coletta. Is Jeff serious about our future together? Oh, Raymond. Oh, hello, Raymond. Thank you so much for the engagement. I'm loving it, by the way. Coletta, let's check on your question, okay? Is Jeff serious about our future together? Is Jeff serious about Coletta? Was it? Ooh. Andrea, thank you so much. I'm really glad it resonated with you. All right, Coletta. Even though we got the Six of Cups, those cards kind of contradict themselves, okay? That's the Six of Cups. That's a card of nostalgia. You know, see those two little cups here and then all the other cups around it. That's a card of nostalgia. And this, the Two of Wands, is a card of planning the future, strategizing, getting planned to take some sort of action. Um, you know, that's those two cards jumped out together since it's not, and one of them is upright and the other one is reverse. So I'm just gonna automatically go into the meaning if I were to put two and two together, right? This is the card of nostalgia, so maybe you're looking too much into the past, or maybe you guys are just simply on the planning over and over, but you guys are not strategizing, you guys are not taking action. I cannot I cannot tell you exactly because I don't know you as a person. I don't know Jeff as a person. But ask yourself, are you guys staying in the past, just telling each other you guys love each other? But where are the actions coming through? Are you both? See, it's a two. Are you both walking the same path together? Are you both making sure that you both are walking and doing the same things as one if you're planning to be together? Um, oh my. All right, Raymond. I'm shutting you down because you're just making my job a little bit harder than it should be. Block, block. All right. Let's see who else. I've is A back with his ex. Sorry, I love doing those things. Oh my gosh. I got the desk card on reverse, man. Oh boy. It's not over. Not over. Not over. Death on reverse. If it's a yes or no, being on reverse, I would say it's a no. But looking at the card and its meaning, I would say it's a cycle that is not completely over. So, yeah. Karen, Karen, thank you so much for following. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for the follow, guys. Thank you so much for the follow and the likes. Alina, thank you. Will I be winning her? Will Lena be winning her case very soon? Let's see. Will Lena Rodriguez be winning her case very soon? We got the Queen of Pentacles. If that's a yes or no question, I would give you a yes. If it's the meaning of the card, this is a woman who takes care of their money. Someone who keeps their money pretty well, but also they are the provider, they are the giver. So I hope that resonates. Oh no, Andrea. Andrea, you can ask a question if you're still on YouTube. You can ask a question, and then I'll pull a card for you. Yeah, I'm just doing one pull cards, okay? Crystal, thank you so much for following. Yeah, I can pull a card for you. At the moment, I'm just pulling cards, okay? But I can totally do that for you, definitely. Oh, thank you so much for the likes, by the way. Let's see. Crystal. Okay, got the 9 of Wands. That's a card of keep going, keep moving. It's not necessarily it's not surrendering. Oh, thank you so much for the gifts, guys. I really appreciate y'all. But that's a card of keep going, keep pushing, keep taking action. Have you been working on a big project so much? You have put so much thought, time, energy into it. And even though it may feel like it's not getting you anywhere, but that's the card that tells you that that's not necessarily a burden. Yeah, you just keep pushing. If you're moving from a breakup, ask yourself, Crystal, what did this situation taught me? Was this person actually really good for me? If you are moving from a breakup, again, I will give you an example of mine just to see if maybe it gets relatable to you. But it's like, I'm a widower. So just imagine taking down pictures of that person that was your loved one. It kind of feels bad when you do so, but the fact that those images, those things don't become reminders anymore that you miss that person. So maybe block them, block them. You can go no contact whatsoever, take pictures down. If it's someone who hurt you badly, keep finding other ways to make sure that those memories, even like some friends that hang out with that person and keep bringing that person up into the conversation, that can actually help you settle and get out of that situation. Adri, thank you so much for following. Let's see, Andrea from YouTube, if you're still there, let me get your question here, okay? Let's see, the 9th was my dad Hector anniversary for when he was called home. Is there any messages from him that he wants me to know? Oh, okay, I see now what you mean. Okay. I get it now. It took me a while. Like, I was reading it and I was like, It sounds coded, but I got it. Crystal, you're very welcome. Yeah, Crystal, take pictures down, stuff like that. If you got acquaintances that are connected to that person, I don't say block those people, but just imagine again, just try to remove yourself from the situation. That kind of stuff. All right, Andrea, we got the Ace of Pentacles. Andrea on YouTube. Make sure you are picking up the opportunities that are opening up for you, opportunities that pop up for you. Something new may be coming. It's not concrete at the moment. It will be manifesting, but make sure you take the opportunities that are coming. Good opportunities, for the love of God, please. Oh my phone is going off. Ooh. All right. Let's see. Felicity, thank you so much for following. Ladrea and Andrea. Okay, thank you so much for sharing the live. Miranda China, thank you for sharing the live as well. Let's see. Oh my goodness, this is hard to follow. All right, Adriana. We got Adriana. I just changed my major. Is this a good choice? Adriana just changed her major. Is this a good choice? I'm sorry. What would you refer as a major, Adriana, if you're still there? You still there? No? Okay, I'm gonna move on to the next one. If you're still there, I'll be happy to give you the answer once I get a little more context out of it. Let's see. Andrea, is Deontay going to text before Christmas? Let's see, Andrea. Is Deontay going to text before Christmas? Oh, gee. Okay. They got better. It got better. I got the Fool. It was on reverse before. That's why I threw it, and I was going to see, like, is that right? That's a card of new beginnings. If you guys are looking to have a new beginning, this may be a positive. If that was a yes or no question, that was also a positive answer. But if we're gonna get into the card, just have some innocence. Just do not attach yourself into the situation. Just let it unfold naturally. Don't get clingy. Just let them come to you. Let them come to you. Don't be running after a man. I love saying that. Do not be running after a man. If the man likes you, he's gonna come back to you. Because you got the honey, not him. Oh, okay. He's your baby father. Okay. See? I'm telling you. Felicity, did you leave a question? Yes, you did. Felicity, if you're still there, let's see here. Will my husband and I get a divorce, or will we work through and have a long, happy marriage? All right, let's check here. Let me do a quick shuffling for you, Felicity. Let's see how that goes. You're very welcome. Let's get it for you here. Will Felicity's husband get a divorce, or will they work through and have a happy, long marriage? Okay. Um, that's a 10 of swords on reverse. You guys know that's one of the worst cards of the deck, right? Besides death, that's what nobody likes to see. But this means that the worst is over. The worst is over. Um, I would say make sure you guys are not going back to the same cycles. I say cycle because I see the moon over here at the very bottom. I don't know if you guys can see it. There's a little moon over here at the very bottom. Just make sure you guys are not going through the very same cycles. If you guys disrespect each other, do not disrespect each other. It takes two. It takes two people to actually, get stuff together, get stuff done. It takes you to, be a couple. Yeah, are you guys going in circles again? And when we talk about swords, just think about on like how sharp swords are, and they can cut both ways. Are you guys speaking to each other in a cruel manner? Are you guys treating each other in a cruel manner? That means that the worst is gone, something big happened, right? And it's now time to move on and time to heal. But then here's a question for you, not for him, for you. Um, is there is it going to be a good long road? Is it going to be something that you guys can heal from and forgive each other, which whatever party was involved in whatever happens? Um, Again, future is not necessarily um, fixed. It changes. It all depends of the actions that we take with our lives, with the people around us. If you're trying really hard, if you want it really hard, you work on it. And if it's meant to be, if you guys are meant to be together for a very long time, you guys will work through it. But, that card is just awful. I'm sorry. Yeah. You're very welcome. Again, it really depends. Things only really move between, if two people actually want to get together. If one of them don't want to get together, if one of them is completely hurt by the situation that's maybe been going on for quite a while, it may take some time for healing for both parties. But again, ask yourself if it's something that you want to keep going, or if it's time to move on. I can't tell you what to do and what you're gonna do with your life. That is completely up to you. But I feel like the worst part is probably gone. This may be just how do you say that? The time that you guys prove each other that you guys really like each other. So Sherry, thank you so much for following. Sherry is asking, will Quinn and I be in a relationship? Let's check on you, Sherry. Okay. Sherry, if we're asking a yes or no question, this is on reverse, I would give you a no. Okay. But as I said before, the future is not completely fixed. The future depends of what we do today, right now, right here, and how we act right here, right now. The Queen of Wands is usually someone very well charismatic, very confident. You know, you see, she's almost like pole dancing over here, and she's got her flower, and she's not afraid to do her moves, right? But on reverse, she's maybe this may be a signal. I don't know for sure. I don't know you. Um, but ask yourself if you're being confident about the situation. Um, are you really just working on with this person just to show yourself some more, or are you being in a way where you're trying to get uh, an expectation or a validation from the man? You know, really, is that, do you really want to be after a man and be going after? You don't need to. Be confident of yourself. If the man is meant for you, he's gonna come over to you. Crystal, 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 Crystal. Thank you so much for the bunch of likes. Oh my gosh. Thank you. I really appreciate you. Let's see. Let's get your question here again. Let's see. Will I hear or see from Ruben again? You're very welcome, Sherry. You know, be confident. Be confident. They're meant to be yours. They're gonna come over to you. Crystal, you got the 10 of Cups. 10 of Cups is the card of happiness, the card of family. Oh, I have never noticed that, but now looking at it through the camera, I see a pattern of a star also. Anyways, I would say here that if it was a yes or no, I would say it's a yes. If we're going to get looking into the card itself, I would look into your connections. Okay, if you can see the card here pretty close to, see they all connect to each other, and in the middle there's like this big old crystal, right? But if you want to make that, if you want to take action into that situation, I would say, how can you make that happen? I don't know how, I don't know your situation, but if I was going to look into it, if I was reading that for myself, how can you make sure that those connections are aligning to each other? TLC, hello TLC, how's it going? Thank you so much for following, Miss B. Thank you so much for following. TLC, let's see your question here. So Patricia is TLC. All right, Patricia, let's check if Anthony will return to you. Is Anthony returning to Patricia? And will Anthony ever be intimate again? Girl, oh my God, I got two cards that popped up. Okay. All right. So two cards popped out for you. It's almost like a yes or no. Six of Cups is a card of past connections, nostalgia. The Page of Cups on reverse, though. There will be either a better offer or someone who's not bringing a offer. Someone who's maybe like not coming back. This may be a signal to not attach yourself, even though you may want to, or we may want that to happen so much, and that's cool. but try to not hold yourself in the past so much. Try to not hold yourself into the past so much. All right. And release the outcome. You're good regardless of the outcome, if that makes sense. You miss them? Yeah. Again, you guys know what is the best for yourselves. Just do not get yourselves hurt. For the love of God. Crystal, you're very welcome, and I really appreciate you watching. I really appreciate it. Patricia, you're very welcome. Mm. All right, let's see. Guys, thank you so much for following. I really appreciate it. Antoniette, are you still there? All right, let's get yours. Yeah, it was refreshing. Is Graham gonna end up marrying you? Let's see if Graham's gonna end up marrying you. You got the Two of Cups on reverse. If that was a yes or no question, again, that's a no. But future is not definite. How can you make sure you guys connect to each other? It may be a reminder to make an assessment if this person actually connects with you, takes care of you. What can be done so you guys get to stay together. Yeah, I know. But do not hold that outcome on a tarot card. This is just to make you think, okay? Do not hold the outcome onto this. This is just meant to make you think. Check on the connection. Check on the as of right now on this card it says no. But check on the connection. Make sure you guys actually connect with each other. Do an assessment. Does this person actually shows up? Do they actually text me? They actually check on me. Do I check on them, or do I check on them too often that they may feel like I'm clingy? Oh, stuff like that. Relationships are really complicated. They're it's very intricate. And you're very welcome. OG is asking if OG will get a job. Is OG going to get a job? Is OG going to get a job? Is OG going to get a job? Oh, maybe. Oh. OG, if that was a yes or no question, that will be a yes. If we look into the card itself, I would say know how to balance. See a little lady over here just sitting, meditating, but the Six of Pentacles is about give and take, or your connections. Check your connections. or maybe this might be a call for you to start connecting to others, networking is the best way to get in anywhere. Blessing girl, how's it going? Is Roger coming back? Let's check for Blessing girl. Thank you so much for following, guys. I really appreciate you. Thank you for following. Make sure to follow just so you can get, updates on your feed. And I also got a YouTube channel with long form content. All the stuff you see on my TikTok will pretty much is pretty much from YouTube. It's just cut down. And thank you so much for all of the gifts. I really appreciate you guys. Let's see. Is Roger coming back? Is Roger coming back? Andrea, this is the Six of Swords. That's the card of, moving to better waters or different waters because they maybe had an altercation, a discussion, something bad. If that's a yes or no question, I would say it's a no. If you're looking into the meaning of the card, it's about not leaving or not moving. So that would also be a no. Ask yourself, was that for the best of you guys? Why do you miss this person? And was this person actually treating you well, taking care of you properly? Stuff like that. Got Liz joining in. Again, thank you so much, Crystal. You're number one right now. Ooh. All right, Anna. You're asking if you should wait on Reese. Should Anna be waiting on Reese? Anna, if that's a yes or no, that will mean a no. If we're gonna get into the meaning of the cards, this is the Knight of Cups. Yeah, that's the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is someone who is really hot and cold, inconsistent, not, one day he's there, he's romantic, next day he's like, I'm just doing my own thing. You know what I mean? Andrea, thank you so much for the rose. I really appreciate you. Well, yeah, and that will be a no. You deserve someone who's actually going to be consistent. You deserve somebody who's, who shows up. Who shows up. That's the basic. Even if you have a job, the basics of it is showing up. Show up. If they don't show up for you, then what's the point? You know what I mean? They don't show up. What's the point? Why are you running after a man? Don't be running after a man. You got the honey, not him. That's what I say. You got the honey. He wants the honey. Buttercup, I am only pulling a card, okay? But I can surely pull up a card for you. Of course. Yeah, of course. Buttercup, do you have a specific question or would you like me just to Jessica? Jessica. All right, Jessica, would you like me just to pull a card for you? Or do you have something specific? Did someone put a love spell on you? All right, let's go check on that. All right, is Jessica under a love spell? Is Jessica under a love spell? Hey, Smiley on YouTube. Oh my God, that flew away so far. Smiley7 on YouTube. Hello. Let's check for Andrea. I've already gave you your answer. Oh, all right. Jessica, that will be we got Temperance on reverse. That will be a no. And then also signals like if we get to look into what the card means, it's looking for balance. There may be some things that you're not balancing at the moment, or they are not balancing at the moment, or you feel like you're giving too much to that person, and that's why you may feel like you're under a love spell. So it's not necessarily, there's not necessarily someone put an under a love spell on you. It would maybe just be giving way too much to that person. So there needs to be a balance. There's a lot of give and take. Give and take. That's what love is about. All right, Andrea, is Roger coming back together with you? Andrea, is Roger coming back to you? Smiley, I'll get your question right after Andrea's, okay? You got the devil, Andrea. Do not get yourself into obsessions, all right? You're very welcome, Jessica. Andrea. Is Andrela? Sorry, it looks Andrea from here. Yeah, make sure you're not getting yourself into an obsession. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Have a nice shower. Get out of it. If you want to put on some makeup, put on some makeup for yourself. Make yourself look pretty for yourself. Put on some perfume for yourself. Go out, have a mani-pedi. Take care of yourself. Once you take care of yourself like nobody's business, then they will be like, oh my God, she's the real deal. I'm gonna go after her. And you don't need to be running after Roger. There you go. All right. Like 3, does my ex wants a reconciliation for Smiley7 on YouTube? Thank you so much for the gift. Aflow389, Anna, thank you for the gift. I really appreciate you. I'll get you a question in just a moment. I just gotta get this one for Smiley7. You got sun, the sun. If that's a yes or no question, that will be a yes. If you're looking into sun, the sun is, happiness, good things. When depression goes away. So if they are, Smiley7, if you're looking for a reconciliation, how can that start happening? Are you just gonna sit there? But in my opinion, If they did you wrong, just let them come to you, and then you make the decision. All right, Anna, let's check your question. Is it time for me to let go of Anthony? What's this? Ace of Cups. Whew. All right. If that's a yes or no, I usually treat an upright as a yes. If we're gonna look into the meaning of the card, this is the Ace of Cups. It is something that is manifesting. It may be coming into the horizon. It's not right there in front of you at the moment, but it will come. That is the card of new love, either a new inspiration, either a new intuition. It's a good card to be looking for. So what is your intuition telling you at this moment? Just as I said to another person, does that person actually show up to you? Do they check on you? Are they consistent? You know, ask yourself those questions. See if they're not consistent with you. They don't bring you happiness. Why would you want to have a man just why would you want to have a man just to have a man? So if he's working on himself, okay, let's say that's the case. Maybe he's working on himself and he's doing his own thing. And Anna is not included in the picture. He does not even try to come back. Why does Anna goes out for that person? If you want that to happen, you can. Yeah, if you're just sitting, if he's just letting you sit and wait, what does that tell you? Did you already like if you really want that person, did you make the proposal to get back with them, and what did they tell you? You guys are not talking about it. And what if you need new love coming up? Just as I told Andrea a little bit earlier. So you're not communicating? Yeah. Honey. Oh, honey. Oh, honey. Just as I told Andrea. Yeah. Ooh, no. No. Things happens for us, not to us. They happen for us. If it didn't work out, you can, you know. No, honey. Get pretty for yourself. Put on some makeup for yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror for yourself. Put on some perfume, even inside the house. I put on perfume to stay inside the house because I like to feel good. Because I like smelling pretty. I like feeling pretty. So do that. That will increase your own confidence, and by having great confidence, good people will come over towards you. Yeah, ooh, leave that behind. Why would you? You know. Sarah27 on YouTube. Did Jerome rejected you? Yeah. I did see your question before, but then my counter was down to 0, so I did not know if you were still there. I apologize. I'll get it to you right now. Did Jerome rejected Sarah? We got the tower on reverse. This signals a uh, either a bad foundation or this signals that something happened and you guys are having a hard time either fixing or rebuilding. Now ask yourself, why? That was a bad foundation. Why? Okay. Or maybe he just was just focused on something else that was not with you, but that's a foundation issue. You're very welcome. And thank you so much for the follows, guys. I really appreciate y'all and the likes and all that good stuff. Crystal, let's see. Should I drop Manny already? He comes and goes a lot, only at his convenience. But I like him too. Crystal. Come on, Crystal. Come on, Crystal. Crystal. That's funny as hell. I'm sorry. You got the Eight of Wands. That's the card of movement or the lack of movement. In this case, on reverse, that signals a lack of movement. Ask yourself, if he only comes over at his convenience, what are you good for? What are you convenient for? Ask yourself, what are you being convenient for? What is your convenience towards that person? You're just having fun. Now you ask yourself, do you just want to have fun? Are you okay with just having fun? Or are you just trying to get something else from that person and that person is not necessarily corresponding? You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna be completely like dry and honest with you. Some people just come over to us because they want to have fun. Yeah, sometimes they just come over for a real good time, and that is great in the short term. On the short term, but over the long term, that's not gonna bring you anything. If you're looking for love and they are only there for a good time, you already know the answer. They are only good for that. That is not meant for love. Let's see. Mackenzie, thank you so much for sharing the live. Mackenzie is asking, will any man love me despite my petite frame or in figure? Girl. Girl. I'll pull a card for you, but girl. Girl. All right, I'll pull a card and I'll give you the message. But you already know the message. Oh. All right, cool. Ace of Cups and Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, no, you shouldn't be insecure about it. Mm-mm. No, people will like you for who you are. You just got to be confident about it. See, Ace of Cups. That's the card of love. You shouldn't be insecure about it. If you look around, you will actually see there are couples of this like really huge tall man and this little woman, this petite woman. And okay. That's completely fine. People will like you just for you being you. You just gotta make sure if you do your own care, you take care of yourself. As I said before, take a nice hot shower. After that, put on your makeup for yourself. Put on your perfume for yourself. Take care of yourself. Yeah, you know what I mean. I tell everybody I put on my perfume just to stay at home, just so I can feel pretty. My face may not be the best, but at least I know I smell good. At least I know that I smell good. So that is no, you're not into an at disadvantage just because you have a petite frame. Sometimes people like people because they have a petite frame, and that is completely okay. Be confident. Someone will love you just the way you are. Oh, let's see. Did I miss somebody here? Let's see. Cheryl, thank you so much for sharing the live. She's asking, Cheryl is asking if or will Russell be here with me for New Year's Eve? All right. Cheryl is asking, Cheryl, will Cheryl and Russell be together for New Year's Eve? If that was a yes or no question, I would say it's a no. But if we look into the meaning of the card, that's the illusion. The Seven of Cups is the illusion. Seven on reverse means that instead of looking at way too many cups, it's either you or the other person looking at way too many cups. You're gonna be focusing in only one cup. So cut off that you cut off that illusion. You cut off the BS if that's the case. Okay. Let's see. Nikki. Is Derek attracted to me? Is Derek attracted to me in a more hotter way? In a hotter way. I'll just say that. In a hot way. Let's see. Okay. So that's the two of wands. That's the card of strategizing, picking a path. It's not completely relevant to your question. If we're going to ask a yes or no, that being on reverse, I would say a no. If we're going to look into the planning and strategizing, you may not be looking at things in a strategic way. Um, how can you get pretty for yourself? Again, remember, don't be looking for validation of man. Come on, man. No. Mm-mm. Look, don't be looking for validation from man. Yeah, no, no, girl, no. Mm-mm. I mean, You don't see if he's in a relationship anyways. It's like just let him be, let him do his thing over there. Cause man, mm-mm. I'm a man. I was born with it's you don't give him the validation and don't expect validation from him. Mm-mm. Yeah, no. Open up a new path for yourself. Okay, old people opens old path. New people, you have a whole new future ahead of you. If you get old people from the from before, you just keeping yourself open for old experiences. You just open yourself up for new experiences, new people. If they ask you how what is your body count, then they're just completely insecure and they try to manipulate you. So confident man does not ask that question either. And thank you so much for the gifts. I really appreciate it. Betty, will I meet a man who will loves me and be sincere soon? Let's see. Yeah, thank you for stopping by, guys. Woo. Okay. So Petty or Petty, I don't know. I'm sorry. So we got the 6 of Wands. If that was like a yes or no question, we're looking into, that would be like a no, but the future is not that way. It may be time. This is the card of a failed ego or a failed or not being victorious, not being confident about your actions. Um, I would turn this thing upside. And how do you work on that upside? By being confident. If you're asking if a man is ever gonna love you, that means that you need to understand that there is always someone for somebody. You know. All right, let's see. Casey is asking, thank you so much for following, guys. I really appreciate y'all. Thanks for following. I give priorities for people following, okay? Thank you. And people liking, yeah. Casey's asking, how will my sister-in-law Diana feel about the Instagram message I sent? That's the Emperor on reverse. What did you send her? I mean, what's the context? This is either someone, the Emperor on reverse is either someone powerless or someone who is not using their powers properly. So, how would be someone who does not uses their power properly? It's a tyrant, is someone who's using their power to hurt people. Um, so I don't know. Okay, yeah. So this is about power, but in a bad way. The Emperor on reverse is someone who uses power to hurt others. So take it as it resonates. I hope it wasn't anything too serious. You know? Chaparita Lorena, thank you so much for following. You are asking if does Florencio really feel for me? Is he like is he not what does he feels for you? What does he feels for you? Okay. Let's see. What does Florencio feel for Lorena? You got the Knight of Wands. That's the card of the guy who is a go-getter. Yeah, is a go-getter. You know, someone who says they're gonna do something and they actually go and do something. Charismatic. You see, a very charismatic person. Wands are also associated with fire. He might find you hot. Ta-da! Jan, thank you for following. Let's see what your question is. Jeanette, is Antonio thinking of seeing me before Christmas? Let's see. Is Antonio thinking about Jeanette? That's a hard one. So if we're going to look at yes or no question, that will be like being on reverse. That's the Five of Pentacles, by the way. That would have been a no. But being the card itself when is on reverse is getting out of the code. There is some hope, I would say, if we're just looking at there's still this hope that things are going to get better, if that does make sense. No, it's not a great card, not super optimistic. Fives are always, kind of like very controversial cards, but it's not all bad. In this situation being on the reverse, you know what I mean? You're very welcome. All right, third eye roll 11. Thank you so much for following. Guys, I feel like I need to go take a break. I gotta go eat something. I need to get something to eat. I really appreciate all of you guys being here. Armando, what you got, Armando? Will I be expecting money this month or next month? All right, Armando, you're last one, dude. Your last one. The Magician. Armando, that would be like a yes if it was a yes or no question. If you look into the meaning of the card, this is the Magician. That's the person who's got all the elements, all the possible elements to manifest what they want. So if you're expecting money, money does not grow on trees. We need to either find ways to make money. They can, network, provide services, have a job, or be on TikTok. But yeah, that's a really good card. That's a major card. Just think about how can you make sure that you manifest that money coming in this month or next month. All right. All right, guys, I'm gonna head out, and I hope to see you guys later. Thank you so much, everybody. Peace. Bye bye.